All right, then. I cannot believe that you are back here wanting more. You must be a complete mental case. Chlorine Mermaid and I have put you through so much abuse already, and you're sitting here wanting more. Well, I guess they do say that craziness is a sign of intelligence. Is that the saying? Well, secure your baby dykes. Please refrain from butt touching. And make sure your two men are in the upright position. Well, onward, crazy soldiers. Let's get this over with. I met Rose the first night I ever went to a lesbian bar. The club was a little place, tucked away in a gray industrial corner of the city where I went to college. It was Halloween, and I was wearing a short denim skirt. I think it's the one from the beginning of the story. And clunky Doc Marten boots. Way to be cliche, but they don't all dress like that. The boots weren't high fashion anymore. Were they ever, though? The 90s were almost at the door, and the new millennium was fast approaching. But I figured they weren't totally unacceptable. It turned out that the style of the bar wasn't what I was used to anyways. There were women in 80s haircuts, short bangs hanging forward. Why are they having 80s hair on their head when it's the late 90s? Longer bangs puffed, skulking against the walls in flannel shirts. They don't all wear flannel shirts! And tight jeans over thin frames. They weren't dressed up for the holiday. There were a few college kids I didn't recognize. Mystery. Dressed up like Smurfs, painted blue, as opposed to Smurfs painted any other color. All you need to know from the next paragraph is, there are three women. The woman in the middle is Rose. She's wearing red. She has black hair. She has eyeliner on. And the speaker of the story cannot stop looking at her. This is so original because none of us have ever heard of a story involving a beautiful lady in red. Only joking for the socially unaware members of my audience, that was called sarcasm. A woman wearing a red dress is probably one of the most commonly used symbols in art and otherwise. She represents love, lust, sexuality, excitement, possibilities, a dangerous distraction, sometimes a femme fatale, but definitely never innocent or pure. Page break. Lottie arrived on time. I was sitting at the appointed spot, contemplating my bedraggled appearance. The black and white polka dot dress I'd worn the night before was crumpled. My hair needed a wash. It was dyed black in an attempted Betty Page hairdo, which I'd heard was all the rage in San Francisco 7 years ago. But my bangs had grown out and my hair was limp, not to mention I was too skinny to be a Betty, because everybody knows that Betty Page was very, very fat. I think that when the main character describes themselves, there has to be a purpose behind the descriptions. I can read an entire story about somebody and never find out what they look like and never care because it really doesn't matter. Nobody describes himself in such a straightforward, unemotional manner. People are very sensitive as to how they look. They have a lot of hang-ups, insecurities. Especially women. Then, there she was, a green Lottie, not as big as I'd imagined, but big nonetheless. I took off my glasses. A red linen shirt flowed over her pregnant stomach. So we had a lady in a red dress, now we have a red linen shirt. Her blonde hair was super short and stylish, as usual. She was wearing those trendy sunglasses. Enough about sunglasses. I can't do that are huge and round and make the wearer look bug-eyed. When she realized it was me walking toward her, she pushed them up onto her head. We met on the sidewalk and squinted in the sunlight. This is the second time she's squinting. Actually, maybe the third. Oh, I'm losing track now, but I know that this is not the first. Silly Sill. That's the first time that this speaker's name is mentioned. This person's name is Sill. Lottie Lot, it looks like you had fun last night, she said, and took my hands in hers and swung them. I have no idea what this means. The giant diamond on her left hand sparkled. Light radiating in its depths. Page break. When we were little, Lottie's mom took us to Baskin-Robbins to get ice cream. Lottie always picked the bubblegum flavor. Oh my gosh, I hate this part. Half the time I did too, to copy her. As Lottie ate, she carefully carved the little chunks of gum out of the pale pink ice cream with her spoon, piling them onto a. We're about to relive one of our favorite parts in this story. Remember when she listed all of the colors of the sunglasses? Well, here we go again. Red, blue, pink, yellow, orange, and green. After draining the last drop of ice cream from the cup, she jammed all of the bubble gum into her mouth at once, chomping furiously. One day she started talking to me while her mouth was very full, and gum stuck to her lips. Now I believe this is another day. This isn't the first day that they're. Oh my! I'm in physical pain. Be strong. You can do this. Alright, next what happens is she's playing with her gum, and there's a few more semicolons. Way too many. Oh my god. At least 3 in this paragraph right here. And she just has gum in her mouth, and she's giggling, and she smiles widely like the Cheshire Cat. And I guess she gets some gum in her hair because she goes next door and gets her hair cut off. But on the bright side, page break, and then it goes back to modern times. Lottie and Syl are eating dinner. Ooh, and then here's one of my favorite parts. How are you? She asked. I'm 30. How are you? She asked. I'm 30. Yeah. Lottie is freckly. The restaurant they're eating at is not busy. Page break. And we're talking about Rose again.